Hello, hello. Hi, Ava. I'm doing okay. I'm very sick, unfortunately. So I'm sorry I'm late. I am actually, like, still dying. But we're gonna try and get through today because I got commissions to do. Hi, Cal. Nah, no, it's just a regular cold. Jace is also sick. Yeah, it's just like a normal cold, no flu. I have no water. Hey, Blueberries, how's it going? Alright, so before I can get started, hold on one second. Alright, I'm okay. Before I get started, I have to wolf down this cinnamon roll. It was microwaved, and so if I don't eat it, it will get turned into the texture of a rock. Yeah, just a little cold. I had to cancel a couple streams last week, mostly just because my nose was like running like crazy. Yeah, no, we have also apparently a bad bout of flus, but I definitely don't have it. No fever, no chills. There's something going around here too, but I also get vaccinated for the flu every year, so I'm really like not super concerned about it. That was what my mom thought too. She immediately was like, "You're gonna fucking die," and I'm like, "No, I'm fine." Yeah, because as soon as you start having like flu, like chills, body aches, that's when you should be concerned for sure. But I've had at best slight fatigue, stuffy runny nose, and a little bit of sore throat because of my stuffy runny nose. And so that's like normal shit. But I could see people overreacting to colds because I think people now are really gun shy about being sick because of COVID. And every time people get sick, it's like, oh my god, we're all gonna fucking die. And is it good to be concerned? Yes, but like, are we gonna maybe die? Probably not. Okay, so before I get started, I somehow gained, I'm not even shitting you, almost like 100 fucking subscribers in like a week because of my demon video. So, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to me over the last couple days. I have a long list of the people that I can see. So, thank you so much to Vanessa, Gerard, Fool for Knowledge, Celine, Nine Point, Ulysses, Oliver, Guy Fail, Lucas, Count Crimson, Robert, The Teller of Tales, Nodic Fox, Patty, Pedro, Azure, Catherine, Kurt, Ismael, Timothy, Sophia, James, Philip, Companion, Danny, One Eyed Heathen, Proud to be Fallen, Infinite Hedron, and Hannah for subscribing. That's fucking insane. Guys, you make one video about gay fucking demons. People seem to be really excited about it though. Like people were surprised that like I actually made content that was worth watching. Cause I think people are getting overloaded with like AI slop, to be fucking honest. And they were like, wow, a real fucking human? And it's like, yeah. I mean, they could be fucking. I don't know. I don't know what them demons do. I know Urian doesn't fuck. I talked about him a lot. He's scared of the fucking. Urian is afraid. Oh, also, let me go turn on a light so we can actually see. Okay. Really quickly, I wanted to just say also, I look like shit, but I wanted to say thank you to everybody who, that, wow, see, I'm like dying. Thank you to the people who pledged to the Kickstarter. I'm very, very lucky that Amazon didn't lose my package and I was able to get everybody's, packages out, or I'm gonna get them out today, so they're all packaged up and ready to go. I just wanted to show off the rewards again one more time because they're amazing. This is Under the Riches. It's a watermelon cooler iced tea blend that's going out. And these were technically only for the Kickstarter people, but, like, I'm not saying y'all are in my inner circle, so if you want to ever order any of these from me, let me know. They also get this really adorable Sun Wukong eating a peach sticker. It's clear. So I haven't tested it out yet, but I'm going to maybe put it on, like, my water bottle or something. And then, of course, we have the two books, which are, they look great next to each other. I had an artist tell me I couldn't draw because of this one, so that's cool. That means it's good, right? And then the spines do crazy stuff. If you have them on the shelf, they line up and start to make a picture. So that's pretty sick. And then for the people who subbed at the highest tiers, they get this cool stuff on the inside. So, well, first, there's a sexy Wukong print. Look at how amazing this turned out. Look at the gold. Fucking crazy. So it's a high gloss photo print. It's a very thick paper. I've never had paper like this before. But, like, by God. Yeah, no, he came into my YouTube video telling me that, my artwork was fucking generic and that I don't know how to draw and that this, quote, fairy looked too generic because he looked at the YouTube thumbnail for 5 seconds and claimed that because he was a tattoo artist, he's the best fucking artist in the world. So that was really funny. I got to block that guy. But also, too, everybody gets, at the highest tier gets a book plate that says what their name is in Mandarin. And I try and pick, like, the name that, one, is the most authentic to the pronunciation of the name. So for, like, one guy, I had to get creative and use the character for luck in Cantonese and not in Chinese, so that's kind of fun. But this is Jace's, so we have Jiasi in Chinese, and this means auspicious thought. So pretty fucking cool. So thank you to everybody who backed it. The only ones I haven't sent out yet is, like, it was a miscalculation on my part, are my parents. And otherwise, though, everybody else's books are going to be going out today. And I don't know if that's going to mean that they're going to make it by Christmas. But we can fucking hope. We can try. We can try. Also, everybody should fucking hydrate. I drank some Wawa. Plain old water. Hey, Tess, how you doing? Yeah, fairy. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I thought about leaving some kind of an intelligent response about how, like, the reason that I put her in that pose is because it's actually very important for, like, she has specific mudras that she's doing, and, like, it's really important for the story. But I was like, you know what? Actually, this guy's a fucking moron. And he's a white dude sitting in his car with a baseball cap and sunglasses on. I don't need to fucking argue with him. And a lot of the times, dudes will do it, especially to people that they perceive as cis women, which unfortunately I look like a woman, so that's just the way that that works. And they think that by giving, quote, art tips, that makes them somehow desirable. I'm like, bro, I'd like you to see you. I would like to see you make the same amount of money off your shit tattoos as I do off of teaching. I don't think you could. Yeah, right? No, that's really it. I'm not even shitting you. It's such, like, cishet dude behavior. It really is. I realize I don't like this line, so we're gonna fuck around with it a little bit. Much better. Why do men think it'll work? I don't fucking know. And it's hilarious. I'm like, I'm not even into, like, straight dudes, bro. You gotta be the fruitiest fuck on the whole planet in order for me to care. Alright. Oh, and then I need to do some shifting here. I knew I was gonna need to move some stuff around by the time I came back, because that always happens. And that's okay. Did I ever tell you about the guy that I watched at the gym almost actually fucking kill himself because he was trying to do that shit? And, he was trying to flirt with a girl, and legit, he almost got crushed by a fucking weight. And then this other woman, who was about probably like 12 times more fit than him, had to go and save his ass because he almost legitimately physically hurt himself. Because that shit was really funny, actually. I'm gonna actually also... I'm gonna try and improve the gesture of this a little bit. Shit was the funniest. I'm glad he didn't get hurt, but, like, also, it's like, bro. I'm gonna need you to chill the fuck out. Also, thank you so much for subbing to the publishing YouTube. I really appreciate that a lot. That one launched up to 100 subs, which is crazy. Over on YouTube, 200 on TikTok, which is very cool. Hey! Oh yeah, I saw your TikTok. I saw all of your Brando Samdo posts. It looked like a fun con. Oh, that is weird. You're like, leave me the fuck alone. You're like, I don't want you anywhere near me. It's like, bro. I don't know. I guess I'm so thankful that I'm a fucking demisexual because my first thought with somebody is never, oh, I see this person I just met, I'm going to get, like, really sexually aggressive toward them. It's always like, I wonder if they would be a good friend. Like, that's always my first thought, is like, how do I be friends with this person? And I'm gonna need dudes to fucking chill out. I'm gonna need them to, like, legitimately calm the fuck down. Because I don't know if anybody has ever tried for friendship first. And then I fucking know, that if a cis man with that behavior was in the fucking chat, he'd be like, whoa, but what happens if I get friend zoned? Well, then too fucking bad, buckaroo. Like, yeah, legit. Oh my god, and you were, like, married at the you're, like, what? Like, no, like, what the fuck? That's so crazy. It's like, bro, it's not gonna fucking happen. How fucking disrespectful. Oh, is this Curly? Oh my god, I've been blessed this day. Oh! Oh my god, Curly is such a fucking icon. I also, in prep for my Von Altus books, have now created a playlist called Von Altus's Never Say Die, and I'm fucking so excited. Oh! Oh my god, she's such an immaculate angel. We can never let her die. I missed half it because I had a problem with the hotel, but I ended up throwing the last minute BarCon. Oh, cool! Because no one had planned one and people actually showed up. It's almost like you're a cool fucking person. That is very cool, and I'm so glad that people came. That is really fucking neat. I don't normally draw the youths, guys. Just kidding. I actually do. This little guy has an interesting story. This is I'm excited for this book. Heiyu's working on it, and I think that this book is gonna fucking cook. Let me figure out if I want to move this mouth. I think I might, but let me finish drawing in the rest of the jaw, and I'll be able to make that decision. Oh, we were already married, and it was a birthday thing. What the fuck? It's like, bro, you're so desperate. It's like, please, for the love of God. Like, oh my God. All the good gods in the universe. Holy shit. Oh my God. You know what? You did great. Yeah, the fact that 15 random people showed up is fucking amazing. That means that whatever you did, it worked. What in the Bob Rafey chin? Is this what I want? Yes. Guinness. Oh, Shanghai. Oh, this is cool. This is African music. They've been doing an entire African album, and I don't know where in Africa, but, like, it's fun. It's, like, weird, like, and unique, super unique, like, Afro-Chinese music. It's crazy. It's not necessarily my jam 24/7, but, like, it's definitely really unique to listen to. Hmm. You know, I've spent, like, the, last, like, 4 days just effectively not eating anything and being super stuffy and fatigued. This is the first day that I've actually been able to talk for an extended period of time because, like, I was literally drowning in snot. It was really gross. Oh, no, totally. You do what you need to do. I've got a video planned for this week on how to, like, help authors grow their author platform. Because whatever the fuck I'm doing all of a sudden is working. I think I finally cracked the formula, at least for TikTok and for YouTube, which is good. Other platforms, Blue Sky, I still don't know. I think I have to post, like, way more frequently on there in order to make waves. But, and Instagram and Meta, I don't know. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. It's, yeah, definitely not as bad as it was. Oh yeah, no, I used the neti pot. Like, oh my god. Oh, well, it's the only way. I think that that's the reason that this cold, or well, cold. I'm dying. I'm still dying. I think that it's the only reason that this cold got so bad. When I was like baby, I had spinal meningitis at like 2 weeks old, which fucked my sinuses really, really bad. And so now I have the world's smallest sinuses. So whenever I get a fucking cold, it just immediately turns into a sinus infection, which is not helpful for anybody. And so, like, the literal only thing that I can do, because people are like, oh, just take Mucinex. And it's like, well, that doesn't fucking help. The only thing that I can do is legit stick a neti pot up my nose and pray. And that's the only thing that'll clear me out. And while it doesn't, like, stop my nose from dripping and running all the time, what it will do is prevent me from having literally the worst sinus headaches of all time, which is, you know what? That's all that I can ask for. My dad literally uses one every single morning in the shower because he has, like, some chronic, like, lung issues. I use the generic Target version, whatever the fuck that one is, but... Is it upsetting to shoot a jet stream of water directly up into your brain? Yes, but does it fucking work? Absolutely. Yes, you totally should. Yes. Yeah, just remember to keep your videos as best as you can under 60 seconds. And that should help. Like, because the only people who can really pull off long videos are people whose accounts are over, like, 10,000. I don't know why TikTok is like that. They just punish small creators for making long-form content because nobody sticks around. They will only push it if your fucking, average watch time, your AWT or whatever, is really, really high. And if you can get people to stick around for 8 seconds, then you're good. And the shorter your video is, the higher percentage viewed that is. I'm all of a sudden becoming like a social media marketing expert, and I don't fucking like it. But I think I have a really good plan. It looks like next month I'm going to be helping another author work on their social media content plan, so I'm very excited to be able to talk about that whole process and, like, what I offer. And I may be getting a line editing project here soon. I met a couple authors on a forum, and it was really fucking great. We did, like, a podcast thing. Ah, no, true. It will clear you out. No, Blue, you're so right, though. Oh, it's the only thing that saves anybody. No, you're right. Also, y'all, everybody in the Discord picked the Von Altus books for the next, like, project that I'm working on, and I am so fucking excited. I don't know how long these novellas are going to be. I have to write 3 of them now. Probably 20,000. Maybe 25. Because then that'll put me at an even 75, which will be like the size of a full book. I'm trying to figure out if I want to sell them individually for cheaper so that I have some cheaper book options for people who want to, like, test out my work at my booths. Or if I want to compile them into one big book and sell it. I should probably have smaller items. I should keep them separate and chill out. This, like, series of novellas is probably going to break me, but that's okay. Did Infected Mushroom release a whole new album? No, they just released a bunch of EPs. Good to know they're, like, still doing okay. know why that happened to me. I literally, like, got a D in my sleep on Pokemon Sleep for the first time. Because I got hit with the double whammy, y'all. I'm transitioning off of one seizure med to another. And then I got sick. So, with both of those things combined, I effectively was so fucking jazzed from switching one medication that was a depressant to a non-depressant stimulation. Or wow, medication? Oh my god, am I okay? I don't think I'm okay. But yeah, I'm switching over to that new medication. And so then that made me low-key kind of wired. And then at that point, I also couldn't sleep because I was coughing and snotty and disgusting. And so like last week, I literally slept like 4 hours every single night. That's probably why my brain is like fried right now, to be honest. Last night I slept. I voted for the Shifter book. That thing is interesting because it got rejected from Wattpad. It made it all the way up to acquisitions, but it ultimately got rejected because it was, quote, too genre bending. The way that I have that set up is that it follows the traditional like alpha, beta, omega structure, but not necessarily with the love interest in mind. And so the main Shifter love interest is in a cult where he was effectively like gaslit into joining because the cult itself like preys a lot on male insecurity on the internet. And so just like joining ICE, for example, there's a lot of like that kind of pressure to perform and be masculine and to join. And so then they tell you that like, and it doesn't just apply to men, but it is mostly men in this particular force. They tell you then that they're going to be able to give you the physical strength to take down you know, people that the government is looking for. So they become a group of effectively like hired mercenaries at that point. And it has some like eldritch elements where they make a pact with a ever hungry demonic style like god to be able to gain shifter abilities. And inside this cult, the way it works is that you have to kill other people in order to rise in the ranks and gain more power. And so you're not like, there is no like destined like mate or like there's no fated alpha or things like that. You have to literally like battle your way to the top. And so the people that are up top are incredibly violent. And this guy got sucked in and he doesn't want to be there anymore, and so he's on the lam from these guys. He ends up meeting up with effectively this like librarian that gets totally caught in the crossfire. Like he literally didn't ask for any of it. And effectively learns about the entire institution, and then it's their mission to get this poor guy out of there by either like trying to get the stupid fucking Shifter cult off of his scent, or you know, figuring another solution out. But they don't even view humans as like human. You know, they have effectively made the decision that because they've evolved, so to speak, beyond being human, that humans are now beneath them, which make them, you know, they don't even fit into the alpha, beta, omega system. They're like fucking worms, effectively. They're just disgusting. They don't want anything to do with them. Hi, Gabby. How you doing? And eventually, the human love interest does have to, like, I would say, drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak, in order to get into the system, the Shifter system, in order to effectively dismantle it from the inside out. So, but yeah, I don't think Wattpad liked very much how it didn't really like follow a lot the traditional structures of what Shifter romance is looking for. So they were looking for, their editor was super nice. in explaining why they ended up rejecting me in terms of acquisitions, but it was like I didn't have enough of a fated mate trope, and I didn't have enough of the alpha, beta, omega dynamic in order for it to be something that they were interested in, because they effectively want just like sad, wimpy omega love interest meets hot beefcake alpha love interest, and then everybody bullies the shit out of her, and then they fuck. And that was the book that they were looking for, which this is definitely not it. I'm doing okay, Gabby. I'm a little sick. So sorry my voice sounds funky. Alright. Let me get this monstrosity open here. I gotta open these both, actually. Yeah, I maybe call that book like a Fated Mates like thriller. It's waiting forever. Glaze is a lot faster. Now I gotta wait for this thing. Go, Glaze, go! Yep. So I'm definitely interested in pushing boundaries. I'm like mostly interested in exploring topics where like it's like, yeah, here's the expected tropes, and then I want to take it and make it something that is genre bending. Does that mean that it'll sell? I don't know. I love the dynamic between those two characters though, and it stars a trans male lead, so that's kind of fun. Almost there. Great. And then we need this. D art commissioned. Grab this bad boy. And now I'm going to run Nightshade and let it go. So we'll see if this freaks out if I run Nightshade at the same time as me trying to work in Photoshop. It might have a fucking conniption, but we'll see. Alright, so now let me get down here. Or where did it go? Cutula, where is it? Avender. There it is. Alright, now I gotta make a hat. We're making a hat! It's only kind of freaking out. Oh! Wait. Oh my god. My fucking at block tried to block Nightshade. Stop it. I'm like, it's just me trying to protect my fucking art from AI. Alright, let me send this over to... hello? Send this over to this client. Sorry if I'm so crispy. I'm sorry. God, I'm so crispy. I'm crispy. Okay, let's draw a crown. I'm so sorry. Okay, how do I want to do this? Alright, let me draw... a little head. Like just base head. Like a little mannequin head. The shifter thing I've been working on is more Ben 10. Oh my god. Alien main character that can travel or transform into a catalog of alien creatures. I love that. He's a 40-year-old man with chronic stoicism. Good God. I love that. No, you would love the very first thing that I ever wrote as a kid that was a completed story that I was really, really proud of was violently inspired by Ben 10. I was like 7, and it was called 4 Heroes starring Randy. And this monster was, I think, 13 whole pages. And it was pretty fucking sick, if I do say so myself. It was about a kid who gets a magic, like, marble from a amusement park that he swallows and gets elemental magic from. And can shapeshift into a bunch of shit. Alright, I have to figure out how to, because this guy has a lot of stuff on his head. Trying to make a crown that will actually fit without overwhelming the composition nor looking too small is going to be really difficult. So let me just diddle. Let me move this down. So I'm going to do a sun there. I need this to be insanely symmetrical. Oh my god, that and Teen Titans. Look, my thing was a fusion of Teen Titans, Kim Possible, and Ben 10, and it was very clear how old I was at the time. I knew what I was. Oh, this is very, like, Chinese crown inspired. All of these imperial, like, female headdresses. Oh, we got a self-care combo! Everybody stretch! Also, by God, it looks like I'm really close to my Ko-fi goal, which is insane. Like, really, really close at this point. Oh, apparently we funded it. Yo, actually, wait a second. I didn't realize. Guys, we funded my let's get me the fuck out of the country goal. Wow, oh my god. Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody, for, like, donating and all of that other good shit. And paying for commissions and all of that, because now Jason and I can fucking leave. These funds also partially paid for he and I to be able to go to Canada and scope it out, so that's very helpful and amazing. So thank you to everyone. I really, really appreciate it. I love a bot coming into my stream called Disgusting Coin. It's like, you are disgusting. Yeah, wow. Okay, so hold on. Let me figure out how much all of my set pieces are for filming my YouTube stuff is for my Liminal House press stuff. It's $300, so we'll start with that. Let me switch to a new goal here. Crazy. All right, now we have a brand new goal. Look at that. You all are seriously fucking amazing. I cannot even describe. We were able to raise collectively $14,000 fucking dollars. Okay, like, That's insane. Some of it was gifts from weddings, some of it was like me putting money into it, some of it was you guys supporting me, and like, holy shit. That's insane. You know, I have the symmetry tool. I'm just going to use that the next time I'm working on this. I'm a fool. And in that way, it can be perfectly symmetrical, so I'm not a dumbass. Yeah, not bad. Not fucking bad, I would say. Alright, so let's turn the symmetry tool on, because I'm actually going to do this in the brush, because this I don't want to have to do twice. Alright, so this is obviously not super symmetrical, so that's okay. 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 Thank you, Blue. It's slowly coming. We're making it happen. I'm just gonna leave it with a blank, this character with a blank face. So that way I'm not, like, competing with anything, and this can focus on how this thing will sit on his head. And actually... Oh, is this Avicii? Does it save that sound? Oh no, Pure Mind. Never mind. For whatever reason, I thought this was Avicii. Why? Sure. Think about the orb here. I have to ponder the orb. Actually, I'm gonna do like a half sun like this, because otherwise this is gonna get too busy here. And I want to be able to keep the overall vibe here. All right, Lorg circle. Gemstones everywhere. This one is going to be like the really like creme de la creme sun piece here, and we're gonna have like multiple little fucking things going on in here. And then I want dangly bits. I need dangly bits. I'm gonna actually give it some stuff going off the bottom. Give me dangles. I need more danglies. Oh, and actually, if these were connected, that's not necessarily the worst. Woo! Okay, now I'm almost wondering if this part, if there was actually like little like sunburst things coming off of it. I think this is some Five Nights at Freddy's shit. Yeah, it is. I gotta go. So interestingly, I've seen a lot of these Chinese headpieces. They're actually quite comfortable because they're incredibly light. They're a lot of like very fine filigree and wire work. If you look up, for example, like here's from Hanfu Story. This will work. These are all. This one's a male hair piece. This one. I guess it's for both, but I would associate this with male headpieces. But this is just the center portion of this. And you start to get into stuff like this. And surprisingly, this is not as heavy as you would think. But it's all because it's like, you can see it's all gold and copper wire work there. Get the fuck out of here, cookie thing. Be gone. But a lot of like old, like Ming Dynasty and Chinese head crowns specifically were really like this, where it was like. And now, granted, not all the pieces are necessarily like super huge. You know, you can get like little tiny pieces like this, but I think about shit like this. And the way that they pull it off is that you have like, I mean, I think about what my husband wore for our wedding. You have effectively like 18 pieces of stuff that's clipped into your hair. And it's like rock solid in there. Like, it ain't going anywhere. It's like locked the fuck in. Praise the sun. That's all I have to say. Yeah, only bad if your hair is not done correctly. Yeah, because Jace was able to wear his through a literal, like, thunderstorm. Like a downpour. And it didn't fall out once. Thanks to the power of lots of fucking clips. I actually don't know if I like these. I've changed my mind. I'm a liar. I'm a lying liar pants who lies. For whatever reason, I'm imagining a lot of, like, opal. Like, so much white opal. Okay, so if we turn this off, that's kind of what we're working with. And then, now the fun bit. I don't know if I want so much shit hanging directly in front of his face. I'm gonna wait to do, the chains here. Well, I might do pearls instead. And then that's chain. And then these are pearls back here. I love Hindi. I love the way that they pronounce English words. It's so lovely. This is fucking so much going on here. Oh yeah, true, true. Sapphires are pretty sick. Okay. This is now the second time this week that I've drawn about 1,000,000 of these. What in the fuck was that noise? I respect people's choices sometimes. This was not it. Whatever that was, not that. Okay. Now, and then we're going to have the chain that comes down. And then I'm going to go mirror the thing at the top like this. All right, so then I'm just going to leave this alone. I'll put the hair down like this so that it's kind of clear where that goes. But, all right, how do we feel about this? There needs to be a lot more chains going on, but how's the vibe? Could he take somebody out with it? If you whipped your head back and forth fast enough, you could maybe create a gale force wind. Where is... Where is this library? This library started following me on Blue Sky, and I don't even know where they are. They're just like, we're the most #2 followed library in the United States. And then their first photo is the photo of a little kid with a piece of paper on his head, and it says, "Let's congratulate Elijah for completing our 1,000 books before kindergarten program." Oh my god. I'm so confused. I don't know where they are. Why did they follow me? I'm like, is it just because they saw that I did a talk at a library? I don't know. All right, cool. Well, if this is good, I'm just gonna go ahead and start lining all of the other stuff here, so that way we can get this going. Why? I wish that I was not like choking to death constantly. This is literally the worst. I'm like, please, for the love of all things good. Why? Okay. Everything is better with you. No, everything is better with you. Okay, cool. This is giving I am a Maleficent competitor. She stole my style and now I'm upset about it. This reminds me of the Aurora character sheet that I did where I put the Maleficent horns on her hat because it was badass. Maybe eventually I'll be able to have time to get back into that series. I really liked doing that Disney D&D series. That was fun. I did like 2 of them. It was just an overall good time. Flip. Oh my god. Whee. Flip. That's so funny. He's like, look, I didn't ask to be born looking like this, alright? He's like, legit, I just popped out like this. Come on now. There we go, a little bit better. feel like I just don't like the position of this head. Let's see if this is better. This is my favorite stage because I can actually move stuff around to where I need it to be instead of it being locked in on the sketch. This is why we do a sketch layer, though. Just saying. 3-card spread. We got a whole ass tarot reading. Speaking of this, I need to go and light like a bunch of shit on my altar. I also need to start making new stuff for my Heliogena wreath and stuff. This year I might actually have time. Alright, I'm gonna give it one more shuffle because I had some cards slip. Alright, let's see. Well, that one's sticking out. Alright. Ooh, so whatever you're dealing with is like a matter of yourself. Very strongly. You feel very, very, very strongly about this, and it feels like potentially an attack on your intellect or an attack on your, like, values or belief system. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Shit was getting nasty. So in terms of, like, what happened leading up to this point, I got the devil upright. So you feel like you are being pushed around, your ego's being knocked around, which is not great. And so you've been maybe trying to cope with this by spending money, which has also not been very good. And that's been making you maybe feel like crap. So you're trying to figure out how to rework the whole situation in order to have better, like, self-care habits and better, coping skills to get through this while you feel like you're being effectively personally attacked. So as of right now, I got Wands reversed, 5 of Wands reversed. And everybody around you is seemingly not fucking helping you. And that's really, I think, what's making the situation really, really bad. And so you feel like you can't reach out to other people for help because it's very personal. And then on top of that, other people might be saying shit that's making it worse, which is not great. The way that you're, like, trying to ride through this is by just kind of staying centered and focusing on yourself, which is not necessarily a bad solution because everybody else's reaction to the situation is, like, really fucking bad, so that might not be the worst. The recommended, like, course of action for the solution here, I got Page of Wands reversed, so whatever the solution is going to be is it's going to take a while, it's going to come slow, and it's not necessarily going to be easy. Everybody wants you to be pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed to get shit done quickly, and that's probably what's stressing you out the most in this situation. Don't listen to them. Just take your time, take a deep breath, take a step back, and try and keep your eyes on all of the important little details, because if you get rushed, you're going to overlook stuff, and that's going to make the situation worse. So just taking a breather, remembering that your feelings are valid, and that, like, you don't deserve to just get emotionally abused in a situation if people are being pushy and shitty, you know? So, like, you're valid. Take a step back if you have to, and just, like, take a break from the situation, if at all possible. Look, man, I'm not saying that tarot is accurate. Oh, we got another single card reading, too. Sure. This is, like, the only divination skill that I'm actually good at. I don't even, like, worship Hecate either. Respect her, but... yeah, the third card in those 3-card spreads is, like, effectively like good advice to get you through the situation as best as you possibly can. You know, it's not necessarily like this is how it's going to turn out, but like at least it can give like some advice, you know, like on how to handle it, or maybe revalidate how you're already feeling. Like if you know that you're feeling a certain way, it's like, no, you're on the right path, or like, no, you're fucking, you're doing the weirdest shit. Don't do that. All right, for this single card, no, we got Nine of Swords. Okay, so this is one that I used to draw a lot. I gotta double check something with this card. Yeah, this is an intellect and communication. This is like our mind. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so this is... Yeah, this card is rough. This is a very, like, I feel stuck card. So whatever you're dealing with, Nine of Swords, it can be like, it's probably something to do with your mind or with your intellect. Just overall. But you might be dealing with, like, a lot of depression or, like, self-doubt. And it can be, like, really easy to feel trapped in that. So the advice from this particular card is to just remember, always, 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 that you are valuable and you have self-purpose. You are on the right path. You are doing the right thing. And so don't let that doubt cloud your focus, because it's just that. It's effectively an illusion of self-doubt. It's not actually founded in anything, and so you can keep pushing forward. It's going to feel like shit. It ain't going to be fun, but at the very minimum, you will push past it. The 9 means that you're almost at the end of the cycle. So whatever it is going to be like, this is the hardest uphill part of the climb before you get to the top. So just like keep hanging on and pushing through with whatever it is. That was for Blue Breeze. If I had the willpower to like make money doing tarot, I would. It's just like getting those accounts set up, or like it's like such a pain in the ass. But yeah, if you want to talk about it, Ava, you're more than welcome to send me a DM. No biggie. I'm sorry that you're going through what sounds to be like really hard shit. Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough, Blue, because like the tarot's not really good at like giving solutions. You know, like if you ask like, okay, well, how do I get out of this situation? It will never... It's like very rare for the cards to actually be like, okay, this is what you need to do. Because it's not like a how-to guide, you know? And so it's like, it can be frustrating to feel stuck. I drew that Nine of Swords card a lot in like during some of the hardest years of my life. It's a very like emotionally resonant card, especially if you value your intellect and your mind and like your values a lot. Because like Wands is more like creative spirit and ego, and then like Swords is just your pure logic brain, your intellect, you know, and value systems really. So it's like, it's not fun when you feel like you're being attacked regardless of like where the attack is coming from. Get this capelet on this coat. Love seeing how an outfit comes together after this, like, ideation phase. Whenever I draw characters with really big pockets, I'm like, what do you carry in your big pockets, you know? Cool rocks, right? It's the only reasonable answer. Baby animals. Oh, we don't need a mice and men situation, like fucking whole ass thing in here. I'm gonna give him some French cuffs that match the buttons on his trousers here. And we're gonna put, we can't forget all the chains that have to go on here. Medicine. Oh, also valid. Love how everybody's like, he's chucking rocks. It's like, no. Oh, did you want to talk about Gay Gaston? So, funny story about how I haven't fucking touched it since the end of November, because as soon as I learned that I did not qualify for that prize, I was like, fuck it, I guess. So I still have one chapter left to write, actually. And then effectively my plan is, because really what I needed was just a small glanced edit looking at that thing to make sure if I was going to enter it in for that prize, that it was at least up to snuff enough, because they don't expect it to be perfect, you know what I mean? Like, they don't expect it to have, like, a beautifully line-edited, developed, perfect, like, thing. But, because I don't qualify for that shit anymore, I'm like, well, now the pressure is, off. The pressure is really, like, it does not fucking matter, and I don't have to worry about this anymore. So that means I can just let it sit until, like, tomorrow, honestly. I was probably gonna just write, that... Well, I don't know. I don't even actually. I might not be able to write it on stream because it is a sexy scene. So I actually probably can't do that. And probably getting, if I'm going to get feedback on it, one, it's a draft 0, so I expect it to be fucking bad. I need to go back and do at least one major developmental edit of it myself over top of it, and then send it to like an alpha reader, for example. To get that kind of feedback versus a developmental edit, because I don't think I need a developmental edit at this point. I mostly just need alpha feedback on, like, plot pacing, structure, like, that kind of stuff. But that's, like, that's something that's, like, if the manuscript gets shuffled somewhere else, you know, then that's when that book gets released. And I might get to the point where I'm, like, releasing multiple titles per year. I don't know how that's gonna go. If I am going to do a holiday Kickstarter again, which I don't think is a bad idea, I can do maybe 2 Kickstarters a year. One that's in October, and one that's in like June, because that's when that collective book bazaar backer kit is going on. And that allows me to hit like 2 publishing seasons effectively, which is not a bad strategy. But I have to try and figure out when I should be releasing these titles and when I should be working on them. Because I'm starting to run into what I'm going to call the Brandon Sanderson issue, which is that I have too many book ideas, and I can write about 2 to 3 manuscripts a year. And so it's like the question is what is now stopping me from publishing 2 to 3 manuscripts a year? You know? It's like, why am I limiting myself to just 1 manuscript a year other than like the sheer amount of work? So if I can reorganize my schedule to get it so that way, you know, I'm running these books multiple times a year. Maybe that's the way that it goes. I'm also just worried, though. I recognize, like, people are pretty pressed for the economy. And now I recognize that this year I ran 2 Kickstarters, and they did relatively well. Like, both of them were funded. And they were both, like, small Kickstarters, because one was for an audiobook and the other one was for Heaven's Equal. So that's kind of interesting. So I could do it. I just don't want people to feel pressured to be like, oh God, you know, I have to spend now on this person that I know. I want to support them, but now I have to spend like fucking, you know, $200 a year on just this one person. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to overwhelm people, because I recognize that is another facet of the Brando Sando issue where, like, he is so prolific that it's like, holy fuck, dude, you have over 50 books. And I'm not there yet. I have, like, you know, 11. But Jesus Christ, I'm a fifth of the way to Brandon Sanderson. You know what I mean? Like, I need to calm down. And so I don't know. I'm not sure what that strat is going to look like. But I do appreciate that you left comments on it. I'm going to go and look at them when I do my second developmental edit pass on this son of a bitch. And then I'm going to do my second pass of it at a later time, so that way I can fix all the weird... Like, right now, it's just, like, effectively just raw pacing. And it's like, holy shit, it's just so... It's just, like, so fucking fast. And I'm like, sweet God! My current plan is Spider Island in June. Okay, because, yeah, I think we're doing that one together, because for me, that'll be Court of Snakes 2. That's the Court of Snakes omnibus. And then typically I do my Kickstarters in April. That's, like, historically when crowdfunding campaigns actually do the best. That may have shifted. And so I'm not super sure on if that is... You know, something that is, I guess overall, something I rigidly have to stick to. I tend to avoid Kickstarters in February because people are still recovering from, like, the New Year's sale, which is why, like, I think most people wait until March or April. So I don't know if I would be able to drop one so quickly as February. And then December's tricky, too, because everybody has spent all of their money on Christmas gifts, and so they don't have money to spend on a Kickstarter, so I don't know if I would personally hit those 2 times myself. Yeah, I think, surprisingly, people are less concerned. I can see where you're going with it. Romance books typically release actually in the fall, believe it or not, because of seasonal depression. Most of the time in the traditional publishing seasons, they release like between October and November because people are legit just fucking seasonally depressed and really horny and lonely. And so those are like, that's like the best months to release romance books if you're looking to kind of ride those trends. But that's not necessarily like 100% true. And like I was talking with somebody else about this recently. Like the fucking indie publishing industry has disrupted publishing seasons so intensely that I don't know if they really apply anymore. You know, so you can effectively as an indie creative publish any book at any time. But that's like, I don't know, everything is so free form that it's like, what is even happening? I've just been going off of like what historically has worked for people, and that's been pretty successful for me. But I don't think that there's really any time. The only thing that I am concerned about ever is like, I think about how tight the economy is and if other people's priorities are going to be somewhere else. So, for example, with this Heaven's Equal Kickstarter, if I hadn't done it in November, it wouldn't have shipped out by Christmas. And so I think people were eager to back it because it was a November back, versus if you wait until December, people have already spent all of their Christmas money. And unless they're getting audiobooks, they're going to want the book to be shipped right away. Or unless they're getting it as a Christmas gift for themselves, that might be kind of a competitive time to release a Kickstarter. Or any crowdfunding campaign, I should say. That's just my thought about it. I'm sure somebody somewhere has a cool fucking graph about like when Kickstarters or crowdfunding is the most successful. Somebody somewhere has done a lot of math, I would be willing to bet. Yeah, I would say summer or winter are the two best times to release romance, just in general. But everything else is pretty much fair game. Anything that's for young readers, best time is pre-summer, so that's going to be like April, May, June. Because that's when kids are getting out of school, and so parents are like, oh, I want to give my kid a fun summer read. And then you can just like force them to read your book, which is pretty useful. Or Christmas. Those are going to be the two big times for Kids Lit. And then pretty much everything else, every other genre you can release at any point in the year, except for I would avoid fucking January, February, but particularly December, January, like the fucking plague. I've watched so many like nonfiction writers release their self-help books in January and just fucking flop. Because everybody's fucking broke from Christmas. It is like not a good time to release a book. Unless you're explicitly releasing like a New Year, New You book, then like there's literally no reason to do that. That is how you instantly lose money. Yeah, the fucking Kickstarter data analysts are like crazy. They're like super beneficial, but like it's a lot. It's a lot of math. That's effectively the only way I've been getting through like TikTok marketing, is by setting up a shitload of analysis and like going through like every single video and looking at like average watch time, total length of the video, comments, reposts, favorites, fucking search, if there was any like search metrics for it, what were they? And it's been awful. Sorry for these Bob Rafey ass shoes. These Jack 2 ass shoes. Just kidding, I'm not sorry. Yeah, so I'd have to figure it out. I think my 2 publishing seasons, like I know QWERTY has had massive amounts of success of launching Kickstarters in October specifically. Like that's been both, I think for Ashport Archives, and for Hisfakak, Q's were both October launches, and those were insanely successful. So that seems to just be, at least for me, a good time to release. I'm going to try the collective crowdfunding with this guy in June. And then just go from there. I hope that that thing is good. I hope that that Book Bazaar ship for us really just fucking rockets us into the future. Because if that works for at least, and we do that at least like once a year together with that guy, then hopefully that'll be like really, really solid. Because you're doing it like, well, okay, so I think a couple things you have to remember. One, you are launching a teaser for your backer kit for your crowdfunding campaign really, 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 really early. Most people don't know, or most people don't start talking about their campaign, I'm not even joking, until about 6 weeks before the campaign starts. So the fact that you're doing it about 6 months before maybe the reason that it's slow is because people think to themselves like, oh, well, that backer kit, that Kickstarter, that crowdfunding campaign is not for 6 fucking months. I'm gonna forget about it. So it may be more effective. You might see a bigger uptick in activity as soon as you get closer to the actual launching of the campaign. So that's where that gets kind of tricky. But if we're talking like just standard social media, just keep being consistent, and eventually that'll go. Kickstarter, at least for me, has had really good, really consistent backers. Like I would say probably about 5% of all of my backers on Kickstarter are always people I legit don't know. And it's like, oh, you're from fucking like New Orleans or some shit. I've never seen you before in my life. And it's people I would have never had the opportunity to connect with. So that's pretty sick. But yeah, I think focusing now, instead of advertising like, hey, I have a crowdfunding campaign that's going to be coming in, 6 months, focusing instead on introducing your world, talking about your characters, talking about the tropes that are in your book, talking about your writing process, all of those things. I just made a social media video, or I'm going to be making one this week, or that's going to be released this week, talking about a little bit about content pillars and author strategy. So, for example, my content pillars on my personal account are ones that I've coined Story Doctor, where I talk about editing specifically because I recognize that's one of my skill sets. I have Trope Talk, which is talking about tropes and why I do or think or don't think that they work. And then the last one is Lore in a Minute, where I just talk about my own work. Lore in a Minute constantly fucking sucks because people just don't care about people's original work, unfortunately. But the trope stuff, if you're able to get a good CTA at the end of it, you can be like for example, I'm talking about like supernatural like love triangles in romantasy, and how they get really fucking boring because typically, or any love triangles just in general, where you have a female main character who just has to pick between 2 hot men. There's like no risk, and so having that level of risk is really important. There has to be stakes for that. And then I was able to tie it back into King of Dust and be like, hey, well, it's not a messy love triangle, but it is a messy breakup if you want to read about breakups. And then you kind of just lead people into your work. And for your case, because you don't have any books out yet, that call to action becomes like, if you want to hear more about my future books, be sure to hit the follow and stick around, because I talk about weird fucking shit all the time. You know what I mean? You're trying to like get people to understand why they should care effectively. Why should they follow you? If that makes any semblance of sense. And that's been like the only thing that I found that has been getting my TikTok follower content to go up. And it's been working not only on TikTok, but also on YouTube as well. A little bit slower on YouTube, but it still works. And oh yeah. As soon as you have the physical stuff, showing off your artwork is a great way to do that. If you have any sketches of characters or things like that, but yes, having like visuals or even just B-roll is really, really cool. You can use sites like Pexels. That's the one that I use all the time. It's 100% royalty free, and all of the creators put up their B-roll up there for literally for fucking free. But it's a really good way to get a good amount of B-roll. Like if you have, for example, for like Spider Island, it'd be like, you know, jungles or temperate forests, you know, like temperate forests and like survival style stuff where you maybe have like altars with like torches on them, like things like that. Like they tend to have those kinds of videos. It may not be 100% accurate to your world lore necessarily, but it'll be close enough. And then at that point, you can talk about your world and then all of a sudden just like overlay some like creepy spider footage or something, like video, and nobody's gonna give a shit because that's gonna be enough of a video to do that. Or if you go to the camping trip and you film yourself there, be like, hey, I'm over in the American Redwoods and this was the setting that inspired my upcoming book Spider Island, right? Like tie literally everything back into what you're working on and what you're going to be pushing. But you want to focus on first establishing a community and then talking about your book. Because my weakest pillar right now is the fucking like lore in a minute, because people legit just don't care about your own content, unfortunately. Like unless you're making fandom content, they don't give a shit. So you have to try and figure out how to make people actually care. And that can be via comp titles, or like I found that this damn demon video on YouTube just blew up. And I'm really lucky that I did a CTA in the way that I did, where I was like, hey, I have a Cambion in here that is inspired a lot by this lore and by this mythology. And people were like, oh, that's cool. You wrote a fucking book. That's sick. And I've had people actually like all of a sudden looking at my book and subscribing, and it's like, okay, if you guys like this shit, eventually you will convert, and it'll be a while, but eventually. So this is going to be the struggle is going to be the first hard bit. And then definitely, I would say if you really want this project to succeed, being prepared to eat a little bit of the cost. Like, I know that may be what I have to do for the Court of Snakes Omnibus, is because it's just slightly more expensive than what I anticipate. I don't want to necessarily have to shell out a cost for it, but if I have to, I will fucking put, you know, an additional $500 of my own money into it, because I want it to like live. And that's not necessarily ideal as an artist, but like I would rather it succeed. And people don't know who pledges to your like Kickstarters either. So if you say have like a family member and you're like, hey, can you just make an account and help me get there? I'll just pay for your copy, and then just give yourself bonus donations effectively to get you to that point. Kickstarter helps with like driving traffic, but only if you fund your project effectively in like 48 hours or less. Anything that takes longer, and not only do you have to fund it, but you have to overfund it in 48 hours or less. And then at that point, Kickstarter will put you into the like projects we love category, which will then drive traffic, depending on your book and depending on the type of project that you got going on. But that's kind of a crapshoot, and you have to have a really solid fan base that's willing to just dive in like that and just give you a bunch of money right out the fucking gate, you know, to drop collectively $1,000 on somebody. which is really hard to pull off, especially in this economy, which is totally reasonable for everybody who's like backing those kinds of projects, because they are we're all fucking dying, you know. It's like this, we're all broke. But I have a lot of faith in these crowdfunding projects because, like, I am in the most fucking anarcho-communist ass group of all time, where I'm in there with this other author who wrote a dystopian novel, and we are effectively trying to collectively pay off each other's debt using a collective donation system. And if you can contribute a little bit, then awesome. And so it is effectively in its essence an anarcho-communist group where we're just fucking going rogue, and we're no longer demanding like money from anybody, and everybody, if you can contribute, great. If you can't, that's also fine. Nobody is more deserving or less deserving because of that. And you just kind of fucking give money when you can, like, and we've collectively over the last like 2 months like raised like I think almost like $400 for 2 people to pay for their basic needs, like groceries. Like, one of them is a single mom and she just can't fucking afford like the extra couple of bucks a month it takes to pay for her kids' groceries. And the other guy, I don't remember what their story is, but like, yeah, we're all in there for a reason. Like, I have massive student loan debt, and we've just all decided like fuck it, and we're getting on the ship together. Like, we literally call it the Liberation Fleet. It's fucking sick. And I've never seen a more efficient group of people coming together and saying, you know what, fuck it. We don't have to wait for the government to decide that we're valuable as humans. We don't have to wait to be told that our needs are worth being met. So fuck it, we're going to do it ourselves. And that's really what like crowdsourcing is in its essence, is everybody deciding that they don't, you know, like an author doesn't deserve to be told by agents or by publishers that their work is unworthy. You know, and like that's really the movement I think that we need to build around crowdsourcing for authors, is that like the reason that people should want to do this is like, yes, not only are you getting a sparkly, shiny, wonderful book, but you're also telling the trad publishing houses and agents, fuck you, like the world's biggest fuck you, because actually I can write a novel that wins awards, and I can do it by myself, and I can produce a good cover, and I can like. It constantly shocks me and shocks people, and I really should use it as a talking point more often, that my like One Pale Reflection book was not only an Amazon #1 Amazon new release for like 8 fucking weeks, but it beat out a Disney title. You know, like, people should be talking about this shit because we as an individual have the ability to do that, and I think that as soon as we get the momentum going, like, the trad publishers are fucking cooked. And they need to learn to keep up or get the fuck out of the way. Can you tell I hate traditional publishing houses? They served their purpose, but now they're just in everybody's way. Oh, also, Jim rejected me. I wanted to tell you. Thank you for sending me his references, like, my way, though, because actually, he's super, super, super fucking nice. But he's just not accepting science fiction right now. Is it good? Is it come? Is it go? Yeah, it seems like the publishing trend right now is that nobody is taking science fiction, and that might be where I'm kind of getting shot in the foot. Is that science fiction is not trendy. The main draw for indie publishing for me is that you have more control. Yes, 1000%. Cover art, fine details. I could not stand the thought of not being able to choose what the cover art for my books is. Well, and like, that's such a valid concern, especially in the age of AI, where I've now seen several authors have to go onto the internet and just cry because they're big publisher. Like, it'll be people like HarperCollins or some shit. I don't remember the last publishing house that did it, that I saw an article for, but it'll be a mid-sized or larger publisher, and then they'll say, sorry, we used AI art for your book. And you have absolutely zero choice as an author because you signed a contract and they have that choice. That's so fucked up. So that's exactly why I formatted my press in the way that I did, because I'm not really doing anything as a hybrid publisher other than giving authors the resources to fund their work in an effective way. Like, I know how to do it. And so I'm going to not necessarily teach them how to do it, but if people want a more hands-off approach, like if the thought, for example, of setting up Kickstarters and doing all of that back-end management is super intimidating, which it is, totally valid to feel that way, then it becomes my job as the hybrid publisher to effectively take that burden off the author themselves so that they can focus on doing what's actually fun, which is communicating with their fans and, writing their next book and doing that kind of shit, because that's what it should be about, is that, going and being creative versus having to suffer and stress out about your books all the fucking time. I'll figure out the social media thing eventually. Right now, my focus has been on finalizing my design, and I need to send out blurb requests. Yes, I'm about 40% of the way through Spider Island, so I'll be getting you the at least like feedback, the beta read feedback on that soon. By the way. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh my god, I'm so, like, congrats on that. Wow, that is fucking amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, feel good about that. Use that shit. And then if you can convince him to post about your book just, like, a couple times on social media, you're fucking golden. Golden. I just don't know enough, like, famous authors is really my problem. Alright. Oh, I realize I did some funny shit here. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, if you want like a cheaper ARC release program, fucking Booksprout is my favorite one. It's fucking super cheap, and the reviewers are actually pretty consistent and super nice. I really like them. Book Sirens is ass. Their reviewers are fucking mean. Of course, NetGalley's always a thing, but that's fucking expensive. Look at you making fucking connections. You're so cool. I saw several historical romance books that show couples in weird modern clothing. Yes. No, I've seen some horrible shit where, I'm not even joking, I heard this horror story of this author who has like a black female romance lead, and the cover that they chose was of a white woman because they didn't think that a black woman would sell. Yeah. It's real shit that fucking happens, and it's literally fucking heartbreaking. When it does happen, it's just fucking awful. Oh, okay, it's on NetGalley. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, you got some time. You got some time for your release, so I would say shoot for that. Because if they give you, like, a nice little fucking discount, you'll have to tell me about all of these fucking things, because it sounds like I need to get in to the Science Fiction Fantasy Writers Association? I need to get into that shit. Yeah, effectively, like, my role in this indie publishing company is to simply be a project manager, right? Like, if people were to ask me, what exactly is it that you do and offer as a publisher, it's that. I am no more than a project manager
for the files themselves, and I do have some say on, you know, like if you have like an artist who is you know, being selected for a book cover, if I don't think that that artist is going to be successful, like I recognize like some people think that they're talented, for example. I see this with a lot with like teen writers where they're like, yeah, here's my book cover, and it's like some what was her name? Hold on, it was the How to Draw Manga lady. Her name was Katie Cook. Katie Cook, How to Draw Manga. Hold on, this horrifying shit, this Dorito Senpai ass shit. This. Oh, Katie Coop. Katie Coop. Look at it. Look at it. You know, and like this is unique. Actually, it's not really that bad. This art style is it could be worse. But by God, right now I'm thinking about this. You know, it's like I'm sure this person got a lot better. Right, like this is fine, but I think about, you know, this 2002 ass art, and it's like at some point I, as the publisher, have to say, hey, no, sorry, you know, like I can't offer that to you, you know, and so that's where I like step in as the publisher and say, hey, unfortunately your art is not mature enough to be able to successfully sell, you know. But that's like the most that I'll do. I won't say that it's like we need to change the way your characters look, or we need to change, you know, the pose, or like any of these things. It's more of a, hey, we want to make sure your book looks as professional as possible, and make sure you don't get scammed by an artist while we're doing it, that you get a fair price for your work, you know. Oh, that's amazing. Wow, that's crazy. They have insurance for writers? It's not something that I necessarily need. I just like I see all of these like what I would call like fucking artist memberships and stuff. Like I'm a member of the Editors Freelance or Editorial Freelancers Association, for example, because I was certified by them. But like the only thing that that does is gives me access to a database where I can then be shoved in there with all of their other editors. And it's like that's not that much of a benefit for me. It's like, okay, you know, like that's fine, I guess. But if they can give me something, a good selling point as to why I should join them, like for example, if you can only access their NetGalley if you're a member, then fuck it. You know, like then that's something that we do. We figure it out. Oh, Writers of America. Okay, okay, I see. I've seen women with plus size female main characters in the cover art. Yeah, I showed a thin woman. Yep, I fucking hate that. Oh, I make like 12K. I think that'll be okay. Yeah, I do qualify for that, I think. So that's pretty fucking sick. I don't like it really depends on how much the membership actually is. I make anywhere from like 6 to 12K in sales, which means that I make about minimum like 3,000 a year in like income, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I pay myself, but most of the time I just put all my money back into the business, and I don't pay myself in that traditional sense. I make zero fucking money off my books, by the way. Just in case anybody was curious. Like, I don't think I paid myself for a book in, like, probably at least over a year. Everything goes back into my business, effectively, to keep the fucking steam engine rolling. Which is why I work 3 jobs. Interesting. So there's a lot of programs that you can join without being a member. The co-op is one of them. Oh, that's fucking dope. So yeah, I'll probably just jump on that too if you find success in that. I need to get my arc out, which I believe, yeah. So whenever you're getting ready, I think that let me see when my book is slated to come out here. your taste all night long till morning come. Let's see now. October 13th. That's my estimated release date for the Court of Snakes. Yeah, see, and that's what makes me wonder, is it's like, to what extent does being that brutal fucking just hurt people? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, that was what was nice about the Booksprout reviewers, is that it was very inexpensive, but they were honest. You know, they were still honest, but they weren't, I didn't find any of them to be mean at all. Super nice. The Book Sirens people were fucking mean as shit. They were really fucking mean. I would not recommend Book Sirens to literally anybody. Especially if you're queer. That was where that first pedophile review came from for me, was from Book Sirens, from a fucking 47-year-old white lady, so that was really fun. And then Book Sirens said that there was nothing that they could do. And I was like, it's homophobic as fuck. Like, what do you mean there's nothing you can do? Like, you're not gonna ban the reviewer or anything? Like, that's fucking sick. You know, so that was effectively my experience over there. Book Sirens, or Booksprout people, super fucking nice, though. Didn't have an issue with that. Yeah, so if it's 3 months before release, that's October, September, August, July would be when when I could jump into that co-op. So then I'll know too if my my book has been successfully crowdsourced anyway, because that's when we'll be through the backer kit campaign with the Book Bazaar folks. I wonder how it's doing. Let me check up on that. Yeah, they did it. This was their last cycle. They did it. 50,000. All of them were funded. Yeah, so this is gonna work. I think this is gonna work. Tess, this is gonna fucking work. Oh, I see. NetGalley assigns ARC readers a percent rating, and if you DNF, your percentage goes down. It hurts your chances of getting approved for other ARCs. So a lot of reviewers hate reading a title to save their life. Wow, that fucking sucks. Yeah, this is a good idea. I think that you were on the money. I think that you'll be fine over on a place like Book Sirens, to be quite honest, Blue, because a lot of the negative reviews that I got was that I listed the book as a fantasy. This was for King of Dust. I listed it as a fantasy, and then I said in the description that it had light LGBTQ plus romance. And that made a lot of reviewers think that it was a dark romantasy for whatever fucking reason. And so a lot of the reviews that I got back were like, nobody's fucking. Everybody's just walking around. And I was like, did you guys read the description of the book? And I ended up contacting Book Sirens about it. And what they told me was like, oh, sorry, it's just like, if the reviewers don't read the description of the book, that's on them, and it's not really on us. And I was like, you guys are fucking stupid. But, like, you can't, like, you're not doing anything about penalizing reviewers who leave misleading reviews. Because I like nowhere have said that this is a romantasy, a dark romance. Like nowhere have I said any of these fucking things. So like, what the fuck is going on? So if you have a true romance novel, that might be a better place for you. You might have more luck over there than I did. But for anything that's not romance, I personally wouldn't touch it. All the things you do. Again, help yourself. It's killing me. For you, holy bear, clip my wings when I misbehave. I'm falling for you, hallelujah. I found my way, I found my way. Okay, apparently I'm not allowed to sing. Yeah, all I've learned from my experience is that some people just fucking hate Astrid, and I don't know why. I'm still like trying to wrap my brain around that one. Oh yeah, see, so then, yeah, because unless the story follows the plot of like they're getting together, they have challenges in their relationship that are preventing them from getting together. Oh no, they're not getting together. Oh, now they're together happily ever after. If your story does not follow that plot, it's not a romance. And the plot focuses on something else. And if you label that as romance, people will, especially on places like Book Sirens or probably on NetGalley as well, they will mark it as like, this isn't a romance. And then that's exactly what happened to me, where like my book, the subplot is a shitty breakup. Like that's the majority of the content there is a shitty breakup and a guy moving on to somebody who is genuinely like really sweet to him, and for the first time in his life he's not being used as a fucking tool, and he feels like he can trust somebody. And that's a huge part of the subplot, but he has to get over his own toxic bullshit first and make sure that he's not going after her because he's effectively got these preconceived ideas of what she is like based on his last relationships. And that's the content. And people were very upset with the fact that it wasn't like your traditional romance, and then that it was when I got review bombed. Yeah, I haven't really gotten any hate comments about how she's not white. It's all been about how they don't like how she's personified as this very bubbly, cute, like she's an adult, but she likes to snuggle and cuddle, and she likes to enjoy cutesy things. Like she's constantly wide-eyed with wonder about the world because she was locked in a fucking basement, and so now she's getting to experience it for the first time. If I had to pick a character archetype that's close to hers, I would say like Rapunzel from Disney's Tangled is very similar, where she's like, wow, fucking outside. And nobody is going after Eugene, after Flynn Rider, for being a quote creep, when Rapunzel is very like, she's almost exactly the same archetype actually. And so that's where the comments about it being quote pedophilic are coming from, where Darius is he's a 22-year-old, like he's an adult, sure, but so is she. She's just treating the world through a very like childlike and wondrous lens and is being very authentic about it. So when she sees something that's new that she is excited by, she says that. You know, she wants to pick up stuffed animals and she wants to eat sweets and she wants to read good stories and feel optimistic about the world because that was taken away from her in her childhood, and for whatever reason people just fucking hate that, and I have no idea why. Literally couldn't tell you. And I have had reviewers who have DNF'd my book as well for saying that they don't read bisexual leads that end up with women because that makes them not really bi. Where is his tail? I can curl it up underneath the back here. Like this, if you want. Was born as a died. Insatiable appetite. Chase a man, I can chase a man. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. I'll follow into the sun, out of the cold. I chase Apollo. Hit me with your light in the dark. I gotta be where you are. Hollow of every little piece of your art. Oh. God damn it, Chrissy. That's all I gotta say. Apollo. Apollo. Yeah, so I don't know. But some readers are just going to be like that, I think. And I constantly, because I'm so fucking afraid of, like, traumatizing people on accident, I've had to constantly, like, I cannot even describe how upsetting those 2 reviews have been for me. Because, like, I literally can't get them out of my fucking brain. And I don't know if I ever will, you know. People don't understand how fucking hurtful they can be, and it's really difficult to avoid. And, like, to some extent, I recognize some people are just fucking dumb, and that's just the way that it goes. Like, I don't know if y'all have watched my demon video, my History of Queer Demons video, but, like, I talked a little bit about how effectively, like, brief too long didn't read is historically people were fine with demons, and they did not have the same cultural significance as they do now until the medieval period. And then as soon as the medieval demonologists started classifying effectively everything that was not Catholic as demons or demonic, then all of a sudden that started getting used as a wave of fuel to be able to use to demonize queer people. And so now we have modern writers like Oscar Wilde, for example, who embrace the demonic. And then now we have effectively, even in a more modern context, obviously things like Baldur's Gate or Dungeons and Dragons, or just in general queer fantasy, or just fantasy in general, where the demon is the good guy. Like I think about Lucifer from Sandman, right? Neil Gaiman's Lucifer, or Good Omens as a title as well, to talk about like biblical demons and how they're no longer being demonized, you know, versus in like Supernatural, the demons are still largely the bad guys. I had somebody watch that video and they were like, oh, so you're just giving people more of an excuse for homophobia. I was like, what are you saying to me right now? Like, what? Like, what? Did you not watch the whole video? Because the whole point of demons is to embrace the trope and be demonic. and it doesn't matter. Like, that's the whole point, is that we have, as queer creators or as queer people, have to just embrace being demonic. And if you think that that's pushing homophobia, then you have internalized homophobia. And you're afraid of that demonic nature. Which, that's a bummer for you. But what is clear is that that person did not really watch my video and then decided to leave a comment. You know, and so, like, that can also be a real thing that happens to us as authors, is that that'll just be what happens. And we don't have any control over it. But it's really hard to work through that when you're trying to make a career off of this, you know? If you're a big-ass author, you can dodge that bullet because your publisher and your publicist has to handle those things for you. And unless you say really stupid shit, Joan, I'm looking at you. Like, unless you are really, really big, you can avoid the brunt of it. But even, you know, even those, you have to say some really stupid shit in order to get, like, canceled. Now I'm like, I get to be paranoid about it for the rest of forever. Like in Gay Gaston, I have this relationship between, it's Gaston's, in this case, his name's Nico. It's Nico's lover's cousin. So LeFou and Belle are cousins in this particular thing. And so, for the sake of just using comparable names, Belle goes up to the castle, obviously, and starts making a relationship with this guy. Velikar is the name of the king. And he is probably, in terms of, like, and I have to make this really clear when I go back, he is as old as Nico's dad. So he is a 50-year-old man. But he has been magically transformed into a fucking timeless wood being. And Belle, in this case, starts to find that she's romantically attracted to this man. Now, it's fucking fairy magic, so when he gets transformed back, he's transformed back to being the same age that he was when he was fucking changed. So he's fucking 23 years old. So he's actually then, by proxy, or 30? No, he's 30-something. So by proxy, he's younger than Belle at that point, because I have all of these protagonists as, like, in their early 30s. And I swear to God, if somebody is like, this is an age gap romance, I'm gonna throw my fucking self into the sun. I, like, legitimately am just going to completely crash out at that point. Sange, 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 sange. If you had to pick a color palette for him, which colors for Evander? For, like, clothes? Because I see that you have included a lot of black, but also in a lot of the references that you have, there's browns, greens, those kinds of things. Is that the appropriate color palette? Okay, I'm going to start with skin. This is my favorite skin tone. It's the what I call the Rolo Von Alta skin tone. It's the Oops, I'm Dead skin tone. No, I'm just kidding. Since he's more human, I'll go with a human skin tone. I could give him more of a pearlescent skin tone. Okay, brown, green, darker blue. Hell yeah. All right, cool. That works for me. I'm just gonna try and get these flat colors in the next like 20 minutes. I don't think I'm gonna do it. Playback, nobody loves me. Send me to rehab. Somebody touch me. This is such a fucking bop. Oops, why would I do this? Actually. Boop beep boop beep boop boop beep boop beep boop. No, boop beep. Do 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 do. That's all I gotta say. Actually, you know what? Here we go, better. That way we can get some like variation in colors of black, so it's not just like all black. All right, let me get down. Lots of jewel tones here, which ain't a bad thing at all. Use this as his sock color. He's at least coordinated. Okay, not bad. Slowly coming together. I'm also going to grab this brown for this coat. Yeah, nice. And then let me go in with, like, let's get a green now. I always think about this color. I'm like, this is Hobbit green. And then I'm going to do here. Nice little accessory. Oops, I forgot the back of this coat. All right, let me know how we feel about this color arrangement here. And then let me get some gold. I'm going to do gold and then, as you suggested, some rubies on some stuff. But let me know how you feel about this, like, earth tone kind of outfit here. And let me get his eyes, also that gold color. Oh, and then I need to not forget his shoelaces too. That would be silly. I'm actually going to, as much as this is crazy, you know what? I think actually, that's not how this works. Never mind. Ignore me. Muted green, yes, definitely can do that. More sagey. And yes, I will send it via Discord for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, and all of these colors can be swapped out, so that's just fine. Easy peasy. Let's see, and you said he has gold eyes. Yes. Yes. I'm going to go kind of more on the orangey side of gold. Really pump that up. Yeah, nice. At least he's coordinated looking. Cool. And so then let me just fill in. So, let's see. Oh, the red rubies. I'll ask questions too about the coronation outfit when I get a second. And then also too, I need to add one more thing. because these are really important. Maybe a little large. Actually, do I want to go like, well, oh, I dicked myself. I dicked myself. That's fine. I'm like, where does this go? It goes exactly where you think it does. I'm gonna do maybe another set of chains here, though. That way we have a couple of, like, little chains going on, too, because that's fucking cool. We like that shit. Alright, cool. So then now, I got a couple minutes left. Let me just go in and we're gonna just fucking absolutely take out this crown here. Make sure I don't accidentally... Hey, guess what? It's gold! Alright. Boop. By God. Doot, 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 doot. Boop. Beep, boop. Boop, boop. Beep. Boop. Wow. Alright, so let me get some rubies in here. We're going to start with that. I'm going to have all of these major sun discs be rubies. I'm so crispy. Oh my God. Ah, help. Alright. And then I think I'm going to go with like an orange sapphire. God damn. I'm going to probably have to do this manually. Yeah, I think I will. So I'm going to do that in just a second. So let me get these chains in here first. Sorry, I am so gross, y'all. Where was the other one? Oh, it connects at the corner from the center of the crown. There we go. No, me go back to this because I don't need this anymore. And actually, I'm realizing too that, like, oops, not that. That's where, like, the back of his head is. Mate kind of needs a back of a head, you know? Kind of important. I guess I'll just go more true orange. There we go, better. I am the Sun Lord. This is all I have to say. I am the Melon Lord is all I have to say. The Melon Lord is always relevant. Okay, and then I'm going to go with a more pinky pearl. Really subtly not white, like off-white. That's a lot of pearls. You miss me, I'll be getting busy. All right, well, there's that. So at least I got through 2 of these, and then what's left is the coronation outfit. So, dope. I'll send this over to you, Blueberry, so you can check it out and double check all the colors, and then I'll ask a couple questions about the coronation outfit too, so we can make sure everything is in the right color scheme. But that was cool. We got through Heiyu's little doodle, and then we got through most of the line art, all of the line art, most of the color for this bad boy here, and then we'll start on the next character next time as well. So, thank you so much to everybody who hung out. Thanks to all of the people who subscribed on YouTube. That shit is insane. We got this. We're gonna be amazing. Everybody's gonna be super successful coming into 2026. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna be starting on my new fucking project, so it'll probably be a lot of outlining, planning tomorrow, and trying to figure out how to properly scale down certain outlines that I use to pace for novellas. And then I'm just gonna go for it. That'll be fine. It'll be good. So come hang out for writing. I'll see you tomorrow, and then I hope everybody has a good rest of your day. Bye bye.